outside. Lyme disease is on the rise, with a new report finding that the tick-borne illness has now been detected in all 50 states.
All right, so the report from Quest Diagnostics, listen to this, is based on more than 6 million blood tests taken over the last 7 years. The company believes that ticks are finding it easier to survive in new regions.
So Lisa Najarian is the executive director of the Twin Cities Lyme Foundation and has Lyme disease, and she's joining us this morning by phone from Minneapolis. So Lisa, how exactly did you contract Lyme disease, contract I should say?
Hi guys, I was an avid gardener. Lived back in Chicago, and I believe that I got it while gardening. I don't know for sure. I did not have a target rash. I had no idea what Lyme disease or even really what ticks were back then, but that's when my symptoms started.
Yeah.
So almost 20 years ago.
And you know what, Lisa, what were those symptoms?
Well, my very first symptom was that I lost my hearing in my left ear. So for 20 years, I've been almost deaf in my left ear. I have tinnitus really badly where it rings very loudly in my ear. And subsequently, I have about 60 symptoms. So joint pain, my hands are very arthritic.
Yeah. So let's talk about why it's so hard to diagnose Lyme disease. I mean, how long did it take from when you started those symptoms until you really got diagnosed?
Oh, boy. Well, I went 16 years undiagnosed. I went to a ton of different specialists to try to figure out each symptom. And finally, 3 years ago, I was finally properly diagnosed. Lyme disease is difficult to diagnose because under a microscope, Lyme disease looks like a ton of different diseases. It's called the great imitator for a reason. Under a microscope, cancer looks like cancer. Under a microscope, Lyme disease can look like Parkinson's disease, multiple sclerosis, fibromyalgia. So it's difficult to diagnose if you are not being looked at and assessed by a Lyme literate practitioner. So it's very difficult. So, Jim, when you gave those numbers today of all those people that have been diagnosed, imagine how many people really have Lyme disease, because 50% of the people out there that test negative. So there are so many more people out there that we don't even know about because they're not privy to the symptoms and how to handle getting diagnosed properly.
Wow. So we were going to say, so how do you push to get the proper diagnosis?
Yeah.
Well, you have to go to a Lyme literate practitioner. Typically, practitioners who have been trained by ILADS, International Lyme and Associated Disease Society, are people who are very experienced, who research Lyme disease and can understand what the symptoms and what the symptoms you're manifesting look like.
And real quick, Lisa, your foundation can help people do that. We have like 10 seconds left here.
Yep, TwinCitiesLyme.org. We help people get assessed and get them to Lyme literate practitioners to help them get a proper diagnosis.
Thanks, Lisa. Appreciate you joining us again. And good luck with everything here. Keep fighting the good fight.